and welcome to Ursi's Unique Eats. I'm Ursula, also known as Ursi, and this is my kitchen. It is hot in my kitchen today, friends. Today, while we're filming, is the first day of summer, and it gets hot in my kitchen. I do not like to turn on my stove. It gets really hot. Only the living room and my bedroom are air conditioned in the apartment, so anything I could do to avoid turning this bad boy on, A+ in my book. Which is why today I'm sharing with you my absolute favorite, and actually the first recipe I ever developed myself. It's called Dreamy Chocolate Caramel Pie. It is delicious. It only takes 8 ingredients to make, and most of the work gets done in your fridge. So if you're interested in making my Dreamy Chocolate Caramel Pie, which by the way has a cookie crust, come check out the ingredients that you'll need. To make this pie, you'll need the following: 14 ounces, or about one normal sized packet of your favorite chocolate sandwich cookies, the ones with the cream in the middle. Any brand you like is just fine. 6 tablespoons of softened butter. I use unsalted butter. I highly recommend you do the same. 3.5 cups of whole milk. 1 cup granulated sugar. Half a cup of cornstarch. This ingredient is really important. Make sure you get the full half cup. And then 2 eggs plus 3 egg yolks. So that means you crack 2 eggs regularly in, and then you separate the next 3 so that you only put the yolks in. So 2 whole eggs, then 3 yolks. So it'll look like 5 yolks right in there. Then you'll need another half stick of butter. And for the dreamy caramel part, what you need are some delicious chocolate caramel candies. You can use chocolate caramel squares, you can use chocolate caramel, I don't even know what to call this shape, trapezoid thingy-majigs, anything that you find that's got chocolate and caramel. That's all you need to make this delicious pie. I can't wait to show you how we combine all of these things into one dreamy pie. First, we need to make the crust. Start by putting your chocolate sandwich cookies and butter in a blender or food processor. You might have better results if you use a food processor. However, if you only have a blender like me, you'll be fine. Blend the cookies and butter until a cookie crumbly crust type thing forms. You might have to stop and scrape down the sides of your blender like I did. It could take a minute or 2. Be patient, your crust will come together. Look at that! Perfect crust. Let's get back to my island so I can show you how I put it in the pie plate. This is the simplest pie crust I've ever made. So right now, after you've got your beautifully blended chocolate sandwich cookies and butters, we're just gonna press them into a totally unprepared pie plate. I know it seems a little crazy. Cookies, butter, it's really gonna make a crust. You're not gonna bake it. Trust me, I have made this for 2 Thanksgivings now, several family events, a few friend parties. It always comes out tasting delicious. It really hardens up in the fridge. So what you're going to do is take your cookie mix and just spoon it out in here. It's actually hard to do with this, so I'm going to use my kitchen tablespoon. You might notice that it's kind of got like this, I don't want to say like cement texture, but it's a very thick textured cookie. It's very compact, and that's good because that's what you want for a crust. I haven't put all of it in, but I've started with a little, and now I'm just going to push it down with my hands. This is a messy job, but it saves me from turning my oven on, so I guess it's a win-win. So we're going to keep pressing. All right, look at that. Totally messy-handed, but a beautiful pie crust. I'm gonna take just a minute to wipe my hands off a little bit, tidy up my area before we start making the chocolate caramel filling. Make sure that your pie crust goes up to the tops of your plate. As you see with mine, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's mostly going to be covered by the chocolate filling, but still, you want a nice, like almost even coming across up at the top. You don't want like one side to be really high and one side to be really low. People are gonna feel like they got gypped. Check back in with you when I clean up. Melt your chocolate in your microwave. Just put it in 30 seconds at a time and stir in between. It should take about 2 or 3 times to melt the chocolate fully. Time to make the dreamy filling for this pie. We will need to stand at the stove though. My stove is not on, so it's not as hot in the kitchen, but we'll need to turn our flame onto a low heat. You're gonna pour your 3.5 cups of milk just right into the pot. Followed by about half of our sugar. You want to use half a cup. There's about a cup in here. I'm gonna eyeball it. Seems about right. Now, just gonna use a little whisk to give it a stir. And we have to wait for this to come to a gentle boil. So you don't want a rolling boil. You don't want like a violent, I'm about to cook pasta and I need this boiling. You just want a very gentle boil, like just above a simmer. So I, in order to assure that, keep my heat like on low, either low or 2. My stove goes by like even numbers. It goes low, 2, 4, 6, 8 high. Keeping it on low to 2. And I'm gonna stay here and watch it. But I still have to prepare some other stuff to go into the custard, so come on while I do that. We need to prepare the egg mixture. We don't just throw the eggs right into our milk. It just wouldn't work that way. So I'm gonna pour my eggs into a medium bowl. I give them a little whisk just to get them together nice. Break up those yolks. Sometimes I feel like yolks like try to run away from me. They don't want to break up. Then I'm gonna stir in the rest of my sugar and all of my cornstarch. This mixture is really gonna thicken up the milk when we make the milk into the chocolate caramel custard. So you wanna whisk that really well. Try not to lose any of the cornstarch. It's super important in thickening it. Now, I know this looks absolutely disgusting. I mean, I look at it and it looks like curdled scrambled eggs. Trust me, once it combines with the milk and the chocolate and the caramel and the butter especially, it comes together beautifully. I'll check back in with you when my milk is at a gentle boil. All right, we have the sweetest little gentle boil coming up on my saucepan here. I'm seeing like 1 or 2 bubbles coming up every minute. Again, like I said, you want a very gentle boil. So I'm gonna turn off my heat and we're going to do something a little complicated. I'm gonna need everybody to put on their chef's hats for this, like I do with my kids in the classroom. Put on your chef's hat because you can do this. Trust me. We're going to do something called temper the eggs. It means we're gonna pour our warm milk mixture into our eggs slowly while constantly whisking. And we're gonna hope to God that we don't accidentally make scrambled eggs, because if we accidentally make scrambled eggs, we have to start all over again. It can be a little scary to do this, I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking like this is the first time I'm ever doing it on camera and maybe I'll scramble the eggs just because of the law of, you know, not physics, but like that's always how it happens. But I think we can all do this. So gently pick up your bowl. This is not gonna look elegant. This might be like a 4-hand job, but I only have 2. You're just gonna slowly pour and whisk, slowly pour and whisk. Like I said, it's not gonna look elegant, but we're gonna get it done. Slowly pour and whisk, slowly pour and whisk. I'm making such a mess. Good thing my fiance is gonna clean up after this, right? He's giving me the face like he's not gonna clean up after this. Alrighty, slowly pour and whisk. I feel like if I say slowly pour and whisk over and over again, it all comes out good. Aha, look at that. Whew, my wrist is killing me. We tempered the eggs and we didn't scramble them. Yay! All right, I'm just giving them a good whisk. Now we have to do something equally tricky and messy. We gotta pour it back in the pot and bring this up till it thickens over a medium heat. It's gonna be super messy. I'm gonna move my pot back here. This way I don't spill milk just all over my stove, because that would be gross to clean up. I'm just gonna pick this up and pour. Look at that. I'm gonna pop it right back on my stove. And I'm gonna bring this on a medium heat. I'm gonna whisk most of the time. You don't have to whisk constantly, but I'd say like most of the time until it thickens. For a while, you're gonna sit here and be like, oh, Percy, what am I whisking? And then all of a sudden, you're gonna be like, what? Oh my goodness, it's come together and it's thick. Could take a couple of minutes, but it's worth it, trust me. So once this thickens, I'll check back in with you, and then we will add the chocolate and butter, and we're basically done from there. So congratulations if you tempered your eggs right way. Gold star for you. And here we are with a thick custard. I'm telling you, it just happens in like a second. You're stirring it, you're stirring it, you're stirring it. It's milk, and then it's custard, thick. Might look a little lumpy. That's okay, don't worry. We're about to add butter. That'll take all the lumps out. So turn off your heat. Take your half stick of butter, drop it right in there. Time is of the essence, and same for your chocolate. If your chocolate got a little hard like mine, that's okay. It's about to go into some hot milk and hot butter, and it'll melt right back down. So now you're gonna whisk this together, and it's gonna kind of look lumpy and gross for a hot 10 seconds. You're gonna whisk slow. It's gonna smell incredible, and you'll start to see the chocolate color come through, and you will start to see it come into like this beautiful pudding-like consistency. I promise. Or my name is not Ursi, and this is not Ursi's Unique Eats. All right, here we go. You guys see it too, right? Coming together. I'm gonna actually totally remove it off the heat and pop it down here. I know I've got my little pot holder just right here. All right, I still feel my chocolate in there melting. Again, if you see a few lumps, I get it. It's a little freak out, but it's coming out. It'll be real smooth in a few minutes, I promise. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. I wish you had a smell-o-vision or a smell computer, because this smells absolutely incredible. Like, it's taking everything in me not to just take another bite, like just stick my finger in and take a bite. So that's all we have to do for this. I'll meet you back at the kitchen island so we can pour it into the crust. See you there. Here we are back at the island with our pie crust, which, as you can see, like I told you earlier, I cleaned up about as best as I could. Just the sides of the pie plate, because you don't want to serve something and have like cookie crumbs everywhere. Now it is time to take our beautiful custard and just gently pour it into our pie plate. Don't just like totally topple over the whole mixture though. Pour it slowly, because sometimes this recipe makes just a little bit extra custard. And with the extra custard, honestly, I just kind of put it in the fridge and eat it later because it's delicious. So I'm just gonna pour very slowly. Oh my God, that color is gorgeous. Look at that milk chocolate color. I'm just gonna stop there temporarily and kind of assess if I think that that's full enough. I think so, but I don't know, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. There we go. You can always stop and think when you're cooking. I feel like a lot of people forget that. And honestly, it poured beautifully and smooth, but I'm just gonna, actually, I don't even really need to touch it. I'm just gonna kind of smooth it out like that, and wow, that's it, guys. Telling you, sometimes cooking is much simpler than we think it is. So that's it. Unfortunately, because the mixture is still hot, you can't eat this right away. This will take 4 hours now in the fridge to set perfectly. Sometimes though, I like to make this the night before and then serve it the next day. That way I make sure it's really, really set, but minimum 4 hours, you should be good. So just cover it with a little bit of plastic wrap, which I hate using, as you all know. All right, I'm gonna cover it with plastic wrap in a little bit. I'm Ursi from Ursi's Unique Eats. Thank you so much for baking my delicious dreamy chocolate caramel pie with a cookie crust. I hope that if you make it at home, you have dreams about this pie like I do. Serving suggestion tip before I go, sometimes once it's cooled, I top it with whipped cream and chocolate shavings. But today I've got a few chocolate caramel lovers coming over, so I am just going to serve it like this. If you made my pie, let me know how it went down in the comment section below. Be sure to like this video and check out the others I have on my channel. Until next week, enjoy.